All right. Another week around the trash fire. Your host, Mathias, along with the boy.
John.
Just one boy today.
Yes, which is okay.
It's fine. All have personal stuff in our lives we need to do.
Indeed, indeed.
So, how are things been? You doing good?
Good, yeah. Kind of catch up on the hobby part, but played another game of AoS, so that was fun.
Yeah, well, we'll probably get there soon, because not too much happening in the Warhammer world.
Right,
Though, as was expected to come out this Saturday, it's not that surprising.
right.
So let's jump right into it. Find the right one. Uh, oops. Talk about that later. The 40k orc. We got a new model for the orc line. 40k orcs. We got what do they call this? A whir boy. Not a weird boy. A whir boy. And I must say, I was very excited when I read the article or the title of this article, because it says orc psychers here to turn mighty heroes into measly squigs. So I'm like, there
Right.
he is. There's old Zogwart coming
Oh,
here. And yeah, this is what we got. We got just a new psycher model, a whir boy.
that's okay.
It's fine. I mean, hey, they're getting another model.
Right, right.
I don't. I'm not sure right now. Probably what it is. I think a weird boy isn't he Finecast now, or is he still pewter?
He, it's one. He's something. He's not plastic. I can check right now.
I know when the weird boy first came out, it was pewter because I still
Yes.
have that
Let's see.
awful model.
Yeah. It is resin fine cast.
Even worse. I'll take the
Yep.
pewter. Um, but yeah, this is another 40k work, showing off the new design of them, and it also came with some rules. They've got the squiggly curse. Basically just a better smite. Kind of. I mean, it's a shorter range, but I mean, being able to do 6 more wounds on a 4+,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it's pretty good. And it's just a casting value of 7. We don't know if it's gonna have the same things like a weird boy, because a weird boy's power can go up depending on how many boys are nearby him.
Mhm.
Uh, I didn't see anywhere in the article where that's gonna happen with the war boys, but it's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Kind of cool that it's anti-horde.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You definitely want to be spamming against 6+ units.
Yep.
And then we got a range attack, the Eyes of Mork, which is basically like a pistol, but strength 6 AP3 and D3 damage, assault 2.
Pretty powerful pistol. I'll take it.
It's a powerful pistol, but I mean, you got to remember that it is an orc, so you're most
That's
likely hitting on 5s.
That is true, which is okay. That's okay. We'll make it work.
It's orky,
Yes.
and I'm excited. I'm excited to see as we get closer and closer to these orc line. In terms of other 40k news, I didn't put it in our schedule. I'm just gonna briefly talk about this. We did get an article on Chardon Act 2. I didn't do anything with it because it was just mainly just filler stuff, but that DLC book is still on the way.
Yes, it is. I mean, at least it's for you Bellator fans. You can finally use Bellator in 40k without having to wait for the Demon Codex, whenever that's going to be. So that's good.
True, if Bellicor ever comes back on sale.
He's been coming back on some local stores, not on the online store yet, though.
Hmm. I'll have to check with my local store and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch that because it's nothing to report there. It's nothing that we don't already know.
Right, right, right.
But on something that's new, we got the Warhammer Age of Sigmar app. New Age of Sigmar app, which means if you're currently using the old one, that is no longer going to be well, it's not going to be updated for 3.0 according to this article, which it's a little sad.
Kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, I understand because when we get to the next article, it's going to be abundantly clear, but
Uh-huh.
it's kind of yeah, it's just a bad business practice. You know, you release an app and then immediately just disown it.
Well, I mean, the app is several years old. It's like almost 5 years old now. But yeah, I think the sad part is the old app, I think, was great because it just works. Um,
Is that all you
like
need in the end?
I think the old AoS app, if you paid for it for $12 a year, is way better than Battlescribe. It's way more intuitive. The war scrolls are easily accessible. Now you are paying $12 a year, but it just worked. It was simple, nothing fancy. You just had the rules, you had the war scrolls, points, done. I think this new app is going to be more like the 40k app where there's more features. Now the 40k app is still kind of a mess, so hopefully they will be as bad, but we will see. We will
Yeah, we
see.
can only hope that it's not as bad as 40k app.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, it's hard for me to say that it'll be better than the 40k app when the 40k app isn't even that great to begin with right now.
Hopefully it's not worse. That's all I'm asking for.
I mean, I don't think it'll be as I don't think it'll release as worse as 40k, but it'll probably be just it'll pretty much be the same as the 40k app, right?
Right.
There's,
Right.
there's no reason why they wouldn't just copy it, especially since they're moving away from the old app completely.
Right. I don't know. I mean, my hope is I just hope it doesn't suck.
Well,
Which
again,
is
I
you
hope
know.
it's free.
Oh no, of course not.
Of course not. I know it's not going to be free. That's the hope. But I mean, that's kind
Um,
of what AOS was going for majority of the
I get
time.
the war scrolls are free. I mean, I don't think the war scrolls are not going to be free. I mean, they're on the website.
Right. But I mean, what I like about the old one is, I can just pull it up and pull up the unit information, no problem.
Right.
And I'm sure I could do the same thing here, but I'll probably have to pay for that.
Right.
Because I know we're rapid firing through these stories, but like I said, not too much to talk about. We
Yeah.
can we can just move on to the main event that was teased in our last week's video, which was Warhammer Plus.
Indeed. Warhammer Plus. What a pleasant surprise.
So
My
all of us could give ourselves a round of applause because we pretty much called everything that was gonna go on this thing.
Yep.
Everything but the audiobooks, but that was more of
Yes.
Will's hope.
And audiobooks and and we didn't call some things like the like black the book library, which was a kind of a cool feature.
Well, I mean, well, I think we came at it with the wrong angle, right? Because
Okay,
when we saw this, we saw it as like a streaming thing, so we thought of it more strictly videos.
which is what they implied, to be fair.
Yeah, but even then, we still got some stuff. So not only are you gonna get the wealth of animations, you'll get hobby shows, which you called, which would be the advanced painting,
Yeah.
uh, classic publications of White Dwarf, which seems weird that they're only gonna put old White Dwarfs on there, but
Mhm.
okay. Full access to the Warhammer app, so the new AoS app that we just saw and the 40k one will be in this, which means if you're currently paying for the Warhammer 40k one, you might want to just dump that subscription and just go Warhammer Plus because at least you'll get more out of it, probably.
I think I think they just might roll that into one, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much the 40k app is, so maybe not.
No, because the 40k app by itself, I think it took a price cut when it was, you know,
Oh, okay.
terrible.
Right.
I think it went down to like $2.50 or it went down. It went down significant from what it was because I remember it used to be like $5 and then they slashed the price.
Got it.
But yeah, so I mean, if you don't care about all this other stuff, I mean, continue paying for it if you want. Let's see what else you got. Access to official events. We'll talk about that later. Subscriber offers. We'll talk about that later as well. Free €25 model every year, exclusive,
A $35 model, $40 model.
and exclusive subscriber miniature. So, let's just go down the list, shall we? So we got the masterclass, advanced tutorial videos. So, as John said last week, probably me rolling over their how-to paints over here. Looks like they're just gonna put advanced paints here. Oops. Get these people out of my screen. All right. So I mean, not much there. It's just gonna be learning how to paint.
Now I do hope this just advanced guides and that the basic stuff will still be available via the Warhammer TV YouTube.
I think it will. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna roll over their basics over to this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the basic stuff were on here, but I don't think those are gonna be exclusive here
Right, right.
because they gotta be able to have videos out for general use for people to be enticed to get this stuff, right? If they
Right.
immediately locked everything behind a paywall, then who's gonna
Would
buy
really.
for it? But just say you cut out.
Oh, I said it would really suck if it was just everything was now in a paywall and there was no like free videos on the YouTube.
Yeah,
But I really doubt that. Could be wrong.
I doubt it as well. I don't. It wouldn't be a smart business decision.
Right.
But moving on from that, the exclusive miniatures. Uh, we're getting a Vindicar assassin in a Sisters of Battle statue, which looks nice. If you want this model, it's definitely
Honestly,
probably for $6 a month. Pretty good
if
deal, I guess.
if this was just animations at $6 a month, I would get it for the model. I am in love with this model.
The
It
Vindicar.
is incredibly impractical in terms of gameplay, but it's really cool. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this whole diorama kind of thing they're going for. Super happy about that.
It's definitely
And
not something you'd bring to a normal game.
yeah, I mean, I would do it anyway because whatever. But um, it's definitely one of my main reasons for subscribing. I'm definitely getting the year subscription without a doubt.
Just for this one model, huh?
Yep, I really like that model.
And then with the second exclusive model was this Ork
That
war
one's cool.
boss, I
He's
guess.
not as crazy as the Vindicare, but it's definitely a solid model. Um, funny, a lot of Iron Jaws players were pointing out that it's literally a Primaris Grimgore Ironhide because he has the axe, he has the head of a human, which is a Stormcast. He has an eye patch. Um, same scream in this face. So that's kind of cool. I have friends that play Iron Jaws, and they're definitely excited for that model. But to me, I really want the Vindicare.
Yeah, as a 40k player, I would want this too. Wouldn't use it for anything, but it'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. The animations, which we already know about. Masterclass, the advanced painting. I just got confused. A series that they're gonna be putting out, a Lore Masters series. So if you ever wanted to learn about, is this strictly just 40k? I think it's strictly 40k.
I think it's gonna
40k
be
universe.
AOS too.
It is.
I think it's also gonna be AOS. There's not enough content to just it would be
Well,
kind of boring if it was just 40k because I'm sure they're also gonna want AOS people to subscribe. So I
it
would
says
say
right here the history of the 41st millennia.
let me see.
It's The first
Mm.
paragraph
I
quotation.
think eventually. Oh, and Mortal Realms. There you go. For the first millennium and Mortal Realms.
Ah,
Yeah, because yeah, I don't think they're just gonna stick with the one system for this stuff. I think they're gonna want to make it for all both game systems.
well, of
And
course, everyone wants to do a good, get familiar with the world every once in a while. That's why I
absolutely,
listen to. I think majority of the Warhammer people I listen to just do lore videos. So
it would be kind of cool too, because I think it would be interesting to see if it clears up some vague stuff or some little known stuff. Like I was joking with my friend, maybe they'll have a video of just like armor marks of the Horus Heresy, and people could just shut up about like, oh, this armor mark isn't historically accurate. You know, you got to use this. It's like, shut up. Especially with a new box set that was leaked, we were talking about. People are like, "Oh, unless you play Raven Guard or Alpha Legion, this Beaky box set doesn't make any sense." It's like, come on, man, everyone uses Beakies.
like good old beakies.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to see stuff like that being talked about. It'll be cool. It's exciting. Be good, like you said, like be good to play in the background when you're painting or something. Because yeah, the majority of Warhammer stuff I listen to anyway are also lore videos. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, a welcome surprise. Let's see what else. Battle reports. So this is what I said would probably happen. Well, I said mainly like tournaments, but battle reports don't they have? And they have the meta watch. So
Which yeah, questionable content.
this will be uh, the recorded version instead of the written version, and they plan on doing match and narrative plays. So
The
uh,
narrative I'm curious about because usually when you see battle reports, it's mostly match play stuff. So I want to see like they're talking about the realm of life battle from first edition AOS where it's just like a million um plague bearers for some million dryads, right? That'd be pretty cool.
I doubt they'll get a million, but yeah.
Yeah, just several hundred, you know. Now, before we move on, though, I want to point out like these last three sections: the painting videos, the lore masters, and the battle report.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself is among the most common Warhammer content you could see on the internet. Like animations are not that common, but mini war gaming, 40k lore channel, um, GMG Games. They do battle reports. They do Below Legend Studios, the next level painting. It's all painting tutorials, battle reports, and all that. Um, and again, if it was just if this stuff makes Warhammer Plus to me because before, Warhammer Plus was compared to stuff like Netflix or Disney Plus as like a streaming service for shows. But at this point, I think it's more apt to compare Warhammer Plus to hobby Patreons or channels. For example, like Mini Wargaming Vault. That's like $100 a year. This is cheaper than that. Most Patreons, like if you subscribe to like a masterclass like Patreon, like maybe like my Little Legend or something, like that's like $5 to $10 a month. So with that said, again, ignoring the rest of this article and even ignoring the animations, that's not bad. If you're paying $6 a month for that stuff, and you get the free miniature, right?
I mean, you're
It's
basically spending $72 for two miniatures, right? A
for one.
year for one. That's a year subscription.
Yeah. Well, no, the year subscription is $60. Well, yeah, if you pay monthly, it's 72, but if you pay once, it's 60.
Hmm.
Um, Now again, if you compare this to like most other hobby Patreons, hobby like YouTube premium stuff or premium video services, the price is not that different. It's not overpriced or anything. If it's just battle reports, lore talk, and painting videos, like that's how much you would be paying. So this already shows a lot of content is coming up with Warhammer Plus, and that makes me happy. At this point, the animations are a bonus because again, this is the most common Warhammer video content you will see on the internet. Is the lore videos, the battle reports, and the painting videos.
Oh, I have something to add to that, but I wanna save it till we get to the end of the article.
Okay.
So moving on to the next thing here. The apps. We talked briefly about this with the AoS app, but yes, you'll have access to both the 40k and the new AoS app, which will be included. So, again, if you want to just cancel this your current subscription, because I don't think they mentioned in this article that it's gonna be rolled over or not. So you could just pay. Yeah, I don't think they would roll it over because some people don't want all this stuff, right?
I think if you upgrade, you get the Vindicare earlier or something like that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, there is no. I mean, sorry, there's not. Like, yeah, you could roll over your app.
Yeah, here you
Well,
go.
not roll over. You could upgrade your app. I mean,
There you go. It says right here if you already have a 40k subscriber, you get your exclusive model after 9 months rather than 12
yeah.
if you upgrade. So a little incentive, I guess. You get your models a little bit early, but I see this as good, especially for players like uh me, John, Will, Raul, Greg. I mean, we all. I mean, the last two people don't play AOS too much, but I mean, we all have AOS. We both play AOS and 40k, so if we don't have to pay a separate subscription, I don't see why this would be a bad deal. You're basically getting the 2-in-1 right here.
Yep. It's just more stuff that's included in your subscription, which is great. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it means I'll probably actually have to use the 40k app. Well, I'll give it a shot, I guess. I
I
don't
mean,
know
because
if I
you're
can
paying
get
for it,
weeded
right?
off Battle Scribe.
I mean, because you're paying for it, right? Might as well like play around with it.
Of course, of
I mean,
course.
I'm just saying, like, I use Battlescribe, but hey, if I'm getting the app anyway because I'm paying for the other content and the Vindicare, might as well use it.
Well, I mean, then it'll just be one less book I have to carry around, right?
That's
Because of the
true.
bar core system.
That's true. That's very true.
But all in all, I see this as a positive for people who like the apps. So definitely good. The Warhammer Vault. So you get access to old um, scenario books. Well, not scenario.
Like, I think
Narrative playbooks, I guess.
yeah, it's just the lore though, from what I'm reading. So like the old, like, a lot of this were seventh edition campaign books. I mean, there's some eighth edition stuff, but I remember having tons of this at some point. Of just the old seventh edition books, and while the formations and the scenarios may not, be used, there's there's a ton of lore in there that's pretty cool. Like, like Monka, right? That's when their ethereal dies, right? That's when Strike becomes chapter master. Gathering Storm, that's when Cadia dies. So that's some cool. I like that they're bringing that back because that's cool lore stuff that it's just a good read. And if you want to know more about the lore of Warhammer,
Yep,
like
and
Realm Gate, that's the big first AOS campaign event that, excuse me, lots of stuff happens there.
yep.
So that's cool. I like that.
Did they mention anything old world, or is it just gonna be? I would assume
Oh,
just
I'll be
strictly.
too late if they had like the old world lore, but I think it's just going to be AOS and
I
40k.
mean, it
Man, it's
makes
already a lot.
sense.
It's already a lot of content that end. Um, so not
So,
even mad.
you get your books.
Yeah.
It's always good to have. And then the one I questioned. I mean, I know why people like it, but old white dwarves. Um, I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, because there's some painting articles or cool conversions in older white dwarfs that you can go pick up and stuff, for reference. But I'm wondering why you're not getting like a current white dwarf in this subscription.
I think it's just so you still have to pay for a regular Red Dwarf. I mean, I guess it's still valued as like a magazine despite it being 2021. People
Yeah,
still read magazines, I guess. So I mean,
I
hooray.
mean the current white dwarfs are they're pretty thick magazines now
Yeah.
compared to the ones I have stashed in my closet.
Yeah.
But and I know that it's just a failing thing because recently, at least the last time we talked about a white dwarf, they had to like shove games in it, and they had to shove the new 40K uh, points in there as well to get it to sell. It's just something they probably should just move over to digital.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what White Dwarf does is being done by Warhammer community anyway. So
Yeah,
I agree. It's a lot of that stuff seems kind of redundant, but again, people still buy those magazines, so I guess they're still useful, quote unquote.
quote unquote. Well,
You know.
so it's only from 2020. So I guess they're gonna update this yearly. So
Yeah.
in 2022, we'll get catalogs of 2021, probably. But there you go. No longer do you need to scour the internet for old white dwarf ideas. You can finally have
Now,
that at your fingertips.
now it's not something I would primarily subscribe for, but hey, it's kind of cool that's there. If I'm bored and I want to read some White Dwarves, they're there, right?
It's it's a history catalog basically.
Right.
It's all at your
I do
fingertips.
understand the really old ones though, because some of those real old ones have some cool stuff in them.
Oh yeah, there's like I said, a lot of conversions and some painting tips are helpful. And who did go back to the past for some ideas.
Right.
All right, next up we got the extra events. So basically, no, nothing specific here. You just said you get to be included into some special events.
It's definitely the most vague one. I mean, I'm assuming it's something like if you go to Warhammer Fest and you're a subscriber, you get like extra swag bag or something. Hopefully it doesn't mean exclusive access to stuff because that would kind of suck. But yeah, it's very vague, very very vague, whatever that means.
Well, if I had to assume, this is just an assumption. I'm going to compare this to something like BlizzCon.
Okay,
I don't know how familiar you are with BlizzCon.
never been. So please educate me.
Okay, so before the pandemic, BlizzCon used to, host digitally, or they had the indoor events and then they had the digital events.
Got it.
So, for the digital events, BlizzCon would give you like virtual gifts. It basically like you were there, except you didn't have to travel all the way over to LA to get the
Hmm.
gifts. So basically, you would be able to access all the shows and whatever for BlizzCon. So I would assume it'd be something like this, right?
Okay.
So
So
whenever they do their Warhammer thing, maybe it'll be like that. It'll be exclusive stuff that you get to personally attend.
maybe get to stream like some of the events or something.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
think. I mean, in terms of swag, I mean, I don't. Obviously, digital things aren't gonna appease many people, so they'll probably send you like mail you an exclusive model or something, right?
That would be cool. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. It could be something completely different. Again, I'm like we said, this is vague. It doesn't really tell us what we're gonna do.
Right.
It might just be, thanks for subscribing. Here's something on top of the extra models that we're giving you, kind of deal.
Right.
But it says you'll get Warhammer Plus experience, including perks such as a VIP badge, priority access, and free merch. So I think for people who know BlizzCon, I think it'll kind of work like that, where you'll be able to go to a private event. Well, not private, an event that you have to pay for, but you'll have complete access to it, and then they'll mail you some models and whatnot, kind of deal.
Okay. Again, it's one of those things where like I don't see anyone subscribing primarily for this, but it's a kind of cool bonus for people who do have it,
Yeah,
who do have what already have Warhammer Plus. I mean,
yeah. It's hey, like you said, this is basically like a Patreon, not a streaming service like we
yep,
thought it was going to be.
yep.
and I think that's the descri- best description of it.
I would say so, for sure.
And then let's see about your subscription. So, like we said, it's gonna be $6 a month or $60 for a 1 year subscription with 2 months free. And that's basically it. It's gonna be launching August 25th, so we still have a whole another. Basically, we have 2 months
Right.
till we can access this thing. So, I mean, I already know your answer because you said you were gonna do it for the model. But if the
Yeah.
models weren't there, would you still be interested in getting this?
Yes, because of the apps.
Yes,
This
because
is
of the apps. Okay.
and the yeah, this shows. You know what? Let me rethink this. Put him in the spot here, but it's a good spot to be in. I think I would just because it's $6 a month. That's a great price. Like pay $6 to watch like Louis Sugden teach me how to paint like Stormcast like really well, or watch like what's this guy's name? The lore guy talking about the lore, telling me that Mark 6 armor is fluffy. Watch like the animations. Like $6 is pretty rare. If it was $10, that's pushing it with no minis. But $6, I think that's great for me. Especially if you do the yearly, you get 2 months free, so it's $60. I mean, well, I buy like one less Primaris Intercessor squad this year. So
True. And I was on the fence about this. Uh, though I do see great value coming from this. The only things that I worry about is the consistency of the content, right?
yes,
So, yes, I know bat reps, painting videos, that stuff can be done weekly. Uh the apps solid. The Warhammer Revolt I don't really care too much about. I do like the lore. I do, I might go through some White Doors if wanted to. VIP too vague. We don't know anything about it.
oh, I'll go ahead. I'll plug in after. Carry on.
And then it's the the things that initially started this thing off, which was the Warhammer TV. Because I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, that's a lie. I don't think anyone's really buying this purely for the animations, but you know, I gotta give the animations credit because I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they're pushing this service. And I don't know, the Warhammer TV/animations, or I mean animations, I guess. You, I wonder how consistent that's gonna be. Is that gonna be like a seasonal thing, or is that gonna be something new launching every 2 months? It's a lot of stuff in the air.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them having a show a month, which is fine. Um, but the shows at this point are such a bonus now, which is funny because like before this preview, it was all about like the animation, the content, the conversation was about like like Astartes being scooped up at GW, blah blah blah. But now it's like, hey, Vindicar and again like Louise Sugden teach me how to paint and lore guy talking about lore. Like that's my main focus now is those the Patreon style videos. And
Yeah,
thinking about it more, like the lore books are appealing to me more by the day of like, hey, it'd be cool to read about that stuff. Um, it would be great. I was gonna say earlier, like if they had like the old codexes, because I will say like the new codexes are kind of light on lore, in my opinion, compared to the last ones. Now, because of stuff like secondaries and crusade and war stratagems and all, and taking up a lot of space. But yeah, like the old codexes, I was reading the Tyranid codex and like I'm like, wow, there's a lot of lore in here compared to the I have the Space Marine or the Necron Codex, and it's like, yeah, there's not a lot of stuff in here compared to like the Tyranid one or the Guard one or the Orc one. Like I'm
well,
building a Death Watch kill team, and I'm reading the old book for lore inspiration. I went on a tangent, but point is, yeah, I wish they would have the old codexes in well, at least the lore part for Warhammer Revolt. So,
Well,
but
who
yes,
knows? It could be added into the future.
yeah, true.
But yeah, I'm kind of considering getting it. I was on the fence because even though last week we predicted that all this stuff would come on here because there was no way that they were going to be able to sell this service with just animations, the models definite incentive. The apps, I definitely will be using both, and then I mean everything else is just bonus, right?
You should just get it because you're a Warhammer fan. I think if you're the people who are Warhammer fans of our caliber and have the budget for it, should just get it. Like the amount of content is kind of insane. Like when the more I think about it, it's like it's a lot of stuff. So
It's got a little bit for everyone. You
yes,
got the lore books, you got the animations, you got free models. Who doesn't like free models? You got used to their apps, so no longer having to, you know, pay for two different apps. It'll all be in one bundle. And then, like we said, animations, free bonus, advanced painting tips, lore videos, bat reps if you're into it. It's all there. And it's not
yeah,
just gonna be match or pitch battles or match play. I mean, it's gonna be narrative as well. So all this for 60 USD or $6 a month. So I'm thinking I might do it. Probably do it.
yeah. Again, for me, it's like I just have to. It's one less kit I'm getting a year, and that's pretty worth it. This is worth 10 intercessors for sure. What else is $60? AOS core book. This is definitely worth more than an AOS core book. Um,
Though something did surprise me.
what's up?
Um, it's the release date. I'm surprised that it's being released in August and late August at that fact.
Mm,
Just because isn't the Blood Angels movie coming out in July?
unless they pushed it back, which they could have.
I mean, they
They might.
could have. I just remember the release date. I'm pretty sure was July. I mean, they didn't give a specific date or anything, but I'm
Yeah.
surprised that it's so far back.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some old articles. One from May.
Uh,
So
you'd have to look, yeah.
it doesn't really give a big date for it. But yeah, I think there's definitely some date shifts. Something that was gonna be in July being now in August. Just fine with me. I wasn't as like super hyped about Angels of Death in the first place. So
No, I wasn't hyped for it anyways, but because of that release date, I was expecting this to be out, next month.
right, totally get that.
So that's why I'm just a little shocked that it's coming out when it's coming out.
Right, right.
But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they mentioned Angels of Death. I didn't really, I didn't read too much of this article. Da, 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 da. Almost every Wednesday will be the Angels of Death and Hammer and Bolter animations. Doesn't really say though. Oh, says these shows are on August 25th. So I guess they moved the date back. I mean, they
Yes,
gave us a solid day when it's coming out, but they definitely moved it from July to August.
there we go.
Well, it sounds like both of us are suckered into getting this just because we benefit from it, right? We enjoy what we're getting out of it. And it's not just a Netflix series kind of thing.
Yes, again, the Patreon style content is really pushed me.
But going off that, have you got any final thoughts before we bounce off this?
Uh, no, I think it's great. It's hype. And I cannot wait for it.
All right then. Well, again, not much information or news this week because we got AOS coming out, so we'll just jump into hobby rant sections. And yeah, so we got what 5 more days till AOS 3.0. Well,
Yes.
the box comes out.
Well, the minion box, yeah. But I mean, the portals are out, so
Core rules are
I'm
out. We're just waiting on the points, right? As well.
yes, yes.
So I'm gonna be happy with that. You said you played another AOS game.
I did played against Will actually, so he would be telling about it, talking about it if he was here. But played my Stormcast versus Goblins, and I secured the victory. Although it was kind of funny because he had a unit of Stormcast run away fighting a Goblin boss, so that was kind of cool.
You ran away from a goblin boss.
He ran away. Bravery is a thing. Um, but again, as same, my same comments from last time apply. Like, I like the pseudo alternate activations thing where you do a lot more during your opponent's turn just because of how command abilities work, stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. I think I'm more excited to play with my vampires. I'm actually painting zombies right now, so I'm pretty hyped about playing more of a horde army than just like elite units of Stormcast. So gonna be getting some more games of that this week. But overall, again, I still have a positive view on the game. And most of the eye raising is with the competitive side. It would be interesting to see how the game is with the secondaries because the game is introducing secondaries for you players who, have a good grasp of the game, want to add an extra layer of rules. So that should be interesting. Also, when monsters are in the table because monsters got a lot of changes, not just in terms of new rules, but a lot of the missions. Like there's some missions where monsters score you more points when they hold objectives, but they also give up points when they die, stuff like that. So that would be really interesting to see how that plays out. Um,
Now, when you say secondaries, is this like what it's like in 40K right now, or?
in a sense, yeah, because it's an alternate objective that um you select that gives less points in your primary. But one thing I did notice, I haven't dove too deep into it because General's Handbook isn't really out yet, and I can only squint so hard at YouTube scans. But it seems that they're way more strict on how secondaries are. So it's not just like in 40K where it's like, oh, you have category A, category B, category C, and you gotta pick one from each. It's more or one for you can't double up on two like recon objectives or whatever, right? It's
Right.
more like, well, you have a list of secondary, and then you have a list of tertiary objectives, and you gotta pick from that. And some object like I believe secondaries are worth more than like I think there are. I could be wrong with it. It seems like there's like tertiary objectives, stuff like that. Uh, so we'll definitely talk about it. I can talk about it more once we start playing with that. But as of now, that yeah, match play will have secondaries.
Okay. Sounds interesting. I look forward to. I'll probably play this weekend. I don't know. I'll have to wait and
Um,
see what my group wants to do about it because I'm getting ready for that as well.
yeah.
Well, I guess I can talk about mine. Got my Deepkin squad built finally. I finally got a hold of my Redemptionist after
Nice.
after they got lost in the mail somehow. So I haven't put them together yet because I got them yesterday, but I'm happy that they're finally here. In terms of playing, I did a 40K game. Still testing out the Dark Eldar because I haven't played. Surprisingly, I haven't played too much games of 40K.
Okay.
So I'm still just testing out units and seeing how everything plays out. I went against the cheesy Admech army, and that game was a bunch of wow, that should have been dead by now kind of game. I had units that should have died who lived on longer than they did, and he had a lot of units that should have died, but they're robots, so they don't run away from anything. It was much sad. I lost that game by 1 point.
That's a new admech for you.
It's they are strong, and then it was fun. It was fun to play against something different as well.
That was good. That was good.
The Blood Rag Viper Snake, finally finished that. That's done. Did a stream on that yesterday, and because I'm getting those elves ready. I'm still horribly flip flopping between Night Haunt and Daughters of Cain elves in general. So I'm like, I'll paint this up, and then I'm like, I gotta paint some ghosts up right now.
That shouldn't be too hard because they're ghosts.
They're ghosts. They're a lot easier to paint than Daughters of Cain
Right.
because I've got the contrast paint, where it's just like, dump that on the ghost and done. All right, next model.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm getting excited. I also did something today to start my new journey.
Oh, what did you do?
I bought some Star Wars models.
Oh, dang. What did you get?
I've gone into the good guys. I'm playing the Empire.
Nice.
I think I got like General Veers, 2 units of snowtroopers.
Nice.
Uh, I'm blanking on the name, but it's the mortar, not the shore trooper mortar. The other mortar.
The mortar or the turret? The
Or is it?
E-web?
I guess it's like a gun placement.
Yeah, the E-web. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that as well. And then I went with operative Vader.
Nice. That's a great pick. There's more cards there.
So those are the 5 units that I decided to buy today, and I should be getting it tomorrow. Thanks, Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've my friend is building a Hoth map, so
Oh, cool.
we're gonna play some Star Wars on that, and it'll be great.
Speaking of the Star Wars front, they actually teased a bunch of stuff recently.
Did they?
Yeah, Wookiees were teased. A new Wookiee unit with melee stuff.
Isn't this the
Uh,
stuff that we talked about in the leaks a long, long time ago?
yeah. Now they're getting official more stuff because they're going to be out soon. I think next month. So they're releasing the cards. Like Yoda's full command card set was revealed today. He has some cool stuff. Like there's one where he gets speed 3 and he could move, like essentially that card lets him attack. He lets him move, attack, retreat, move, attack. um with speed 3, which is kind of bananas.
That sounds
So that's pretty
broken.
hype. It's okay, he's 200 points and is not a clone trooper. So if you play because of how clones work, so clones share tokens. So let's say you aim right. If you aim and you don't use it, a friendly clone trooper unit could use that aim instead. Same for dodges and all that. So it's a in the competitive uh Republic community, which I'm part of. Everything that isn't a clone trooper kind of sucks because like a Yoda's cool, Anakin's cool. They can murder things, but they can't share tokens. They don't buff your other clones as easily. So Yoda might actually, people are saying he's not that strong at the moment. We'll see once his upgrades are revealed. But I mean, I don't play hyper competitive clones. I like playing Anakin um with my clones, so should be fun to see more Jedi bouncing around, little green man stabbing people with his lightsaber at speed 3. That's
Yeah, that sounds disgusting.
gonna be great.
But yeah, that's so I've started that journey. We'll be I'll be getting
Nice.
into that. Uh, Luckily, going with the tips that you've given me, have that painted up in no time.
Oh yeah, super. Apothecary White, best friend. So
Best friend. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do this week. Wednesday I have my primary gaming group, and then Saturday, I do my AoS group. So I think I'll be playing 3.0 this Saturday or Sunday.
nice, nice.
Turns with my Wednesday group, up in the air. We'll either play 40k or play some Star Wars Legion, or we'll play a board game. I don't know.
All right.
we don't find out until like last minute. So, but yeah, that's my plan, and I don't know if there's anything else you want to rant about.
I think that's it. Definitely gonna. We'll see with the Sunday preview. I mean, there was kind of not a Sunday preview this week, so hopefully next week Well, actually, there's a Warhammer preview on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't see
Uh,
that.
they kind of stealth revealed that either today or yesterday. But essentially, I think I'm like 90% sure, 95% sure it's gonna be the orcs. Sorry, the Cruel Boys and the Stormcast, like their main waves. So yeah,
You think it's gonna be AOS, huh?
I think it's. I mean, they did mention it's going to be AOS focused.
Oh,
Now
okay.
the hyper dream is it's going to be the leak 30K box set, which I really doubt. But one can dream, so we will see.
Yeah, I didn't see that. The leaked, uh, the leaked
I
AOS
think
thing.
maybe in the Sunday preview.
Is it in the next week?
Um,
Yes, the next week. Okay, I see it.
yeah,
Um, just doesn't say. Probably. Well, we can figure it out. We can talk about it next week, maybe.
yep,
We'll have to wait and see what our schedules say about next week.
indeed, indeed.
But yeah, thanks for coming, John, and
Of course.
everyone else. Thanks for listening. Shorter episode, so easier to get through. And we'll see everyone next time.
Let everyone.
Bye bye.